Everybody loves these Bugeye Sprites. I mean, people who like English cars like them, people that hate English cars like them. But in stock form, they're just not all that. This one, I built a 1275cc engine for it, and I wanted more. I didn't want a car that was unreliable, that was hard to start, that ran hot, that vibrated, and you know, like a race car is a race car, and they're just no fun on the street. So we decided to supercharge this car. So when we first started, we were like, boy, it would be cool if this was all period correct. And the more we thought about it and got into it, to try to get everything correct, you have to have an oiler for the supercharger that none of these came with. You have to get intake manifold and carb organized, so that would have meant probably welding at least an adapter to the intake manifold that they came with. We said, you know, this is a lot of trouble, a lot of work for something that may add 10, 20 horsepower. It may do nothing at all. You know, a lot of these old superchargers were more advertising and noise than actual performance. So fortunately, Moss Motors has an entire modern supercharger kit for the A-Series engine, and it came with everything from the belts, the pulleys, the oiler, everything is right there, even right down to the right carburetor jetted correctly, which made the whole install pretty darn simple. I've restored a lot of different cars. I've restored Mustangs, which are super common. I've restored almost every British car. If there is a Moss catalog for your car, oh my God, does it make it easier. I mean, I'm restoring an old Elva right now, and every single part has to be machined, although I have found some crossover, so I have found some parts in the Moss catalog, but man, if you pick a car that they have a catalog for, much easier to restore. Now, I say pretty darn simple. I mean, it would still take a decent mechanic. The instructions are very, very explicit. They really did tell us everything we needed to know. We had very few, if any, questions or quirks. But I mean, it's a fairly intricate process. It took a day or two. Let's say it's a weekend project. But man, the results are pretty stunning. So yes, the results are stunning, and we'll get more into that. But let's get into a little of the mechanics of the kit. This is an Eaton-based supercharger, positive displacement. It's a Roots type blower, as they say. It's the same as you could find in a lot of modern cars. It uses a serpentine type belt instead of the old V belt, which is a little more modern belt for both your accessory drives and for the supercharger itself. It runs at about 6 PSI of boost. You can modify that with different pulleys, but you don't really need to. It's plenty quick enough for a Sprite. I mean, you've only got so much chassis and brakes to go with this supercharger. We rebuilt the engine. It is a 1275 out of a later car. It's bored to just under 1300, and we kept the compression down about 9:1. As I alluded to in the beginning of this video, we wanted a street hooligan, and man, have we got it. I mean, this thing runs through the gears. It's so quickly. The exhaust is warty. It handles really like it's on rails. This thing is a lot of fun. Anybody who's driven it has gotten out of the car with this huge smile on their face. I mean, mathematically or analytically, it probably doesn't do 0 to 60 any faster than maybe 6-7 seconds. But in a car that was originally closer to 18 seconds 0 to 60, that's a heck of an improvement. So the rest of the car, we pretty much went through the Moss Motors catalog. It's got their leather upholstery kit. It's got a carpet kit. An original Bugeye Sprite did not have a carpet. It just had a mat. But we were trying to, you know, like I say, make this a little nicer, a little more upscale. So it's had basically every trick you can throw at a Sprite. It's certainly, you know, I don't want to say it was an open checkbook restoration, but kind of was. But the cool thing is, you know, an open checkbook on a Sprite is probably less money than an intro Ferrari or Porsche, so what the heck. I think we got everything pretty much right on this car. The ride, you know, it's a small, light car, so it doesn't ride like a Lincoln, but it rides pretty well. The seats are very comfortable. The driving position's pretty good. It's got a lot to like. The 5-speed gearbox, it shifts like a Miata. It's wonderful. And up at highway speeds, it's not real buzzy because of the overdrive. You know, I didn't really build it as a long, you know, distance car. It's more of a, you know, autocross or cars and coffee type thing, but it's pretty darn comfortable out on the road, surprisingly enough. All right, enough talk. Let's go drive this little sucker. All right, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you like this sort of stuff, please like, subscribe to our channel, and go to our website. We've got probably 100 updates on this car, as well as all our other project cars, classicmotorsports.com. Hey, thanks for joining us today.
If you like this video and want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. And to see more stories like this, visit us online at classicmotorsports.com.